So my recent book was How Families Matter, the simply complicated intersections of race, gender, and work. And we specifically focused on this. Pamela Braboy Jackson and we interviewed 46 Black, whites, and Mexican-American families. And there were a few things to note. The first big thing is we're hearing, and I want to double down on it, is that Black men relative to men in other groups are actually more likely to spend time with their kids, meaning they're more likely to bathe their children, they're more likely to do homework, they're more likely to eat with them, they're more likely to have conversations with them. So we first have to start with debunking stereotypes that overly criminalize and weaponize Black men's bodies, and then the relationship that Black men and Black women have with each other. So that's the first thing. The second thing we have to do is we do have to be honest that men, Black men and men of other groups primarily view their role in the family and their identity even more broadly as being linked to work. And our research shows that when men are unable to provide financially, they double down on masculinity, and that's not good for them, right, their children, or their loved ones.
Right.
So with that being said, where do we go with this? Well, the first big thing is, and Black men are already doing this, we just haven't expanded our conceptualization of what it means to be a man in a family. We have to expand that. We have such a limited view of what it means to be a man and what masculinity is. Men are performing all these acts all the time that we don't consider to be masculine or being what it means to be a man, but they're doing it. And if we would simply expand our conceptualization, men growing up will start to view what it means to be a man, doing dishes in the house, doing other sorts of chores, cooking, doing the housework, doing the caregiving with children. That is all part of being a parent. It's just part of being a human. And we have to be fair that women continue to pull the second shift in ways they shouldn't have to. With that being said, what do we do about it? Two main things I'll leave with. First big thing, I do think continuing to double down on criminal justice reform is important. And we know that Black men are significantly more likely to be incarcerated. At one point in time, when many of us were growing up, 1 out of 3 Black men were either incarcerated, on parole, or have a previous criminal record. That is a problem. Now, part of what that means is ensuring, and I'm sure Makeda is chomping at the bit to talk about this, as this is in her wheelhouse, is ensuring that men, when they get out, men and women, when they get out of prison, that they have the opportunities to reintegrate back into space. We heard Mayor Scott talk about ban the box. We continue to know that research, sociological research, Diva Pazier talked about this, showing that even when Black men don't have a criminal record, they are actually less likely to get called back for a job than white men that have a criminal record. So even beyond that, we know that race is playing a big role. So we need to ensure that there are vocational and technical programs put in prison that allow people to get the credentials they need. So once they get out, they can be paired up with employers and hit the ground running. Second thing, we have to build on jobs that are vacant. And of course, this is right in Nicole's wheelhouse in terms of tech jobs, but also healthcare jobs. Those are 2 of the top jobs in America. Black men are the group that is least represented in those 2 types of occupations. We have to do something to fulfill that gap. And then all of a sudden, Black men can start to get jobs that can create a livable wage so that they can take care of themselves and their family.